Darkness pervades the withering grove of the Hag's Nest. Only the tiniest portion of light is able to escape through the canopy of the dense, withering trees in this putrid grotto. In the center of this wretched place is a tall, pale woman who almost looks as if she is wreathed in shadow. Her clothing ebbs and flows in and out, and she is staring down into a pool of black water, which a large stone obelisk protrudes from the water, covered in vines, moss, and grime. And in it, you can see a reflection, but it's not her face that is being reflected. She sees a behemoth of a man, pale and muscular, vibrant, in the dark forest that she calls her home. An outsider carrying a large stone shield, too big for anyone. You wouldn't think he'd be able to lift it, but yet he can. And wield it. She had seen it herself. Beside him, a small, determined-looking, and albeit a little bit hairy, gnome, wobbling as he's walking, a runic gun at his side. She knows the weapons of the gnomes. But she does not fear them. And beside him, a dour man, garbed in a large brown coat with dead eyes, scanning the forest. Oh. And there's also something else she sees in those eyes. Something that she's really looking forward to. The camera pans up to her face. She's beautiful, but in a very off-putting way. Her eyes closed, open, at the sound of a voice from behind her. You've been a really patient woman, have you? The reflection in the water is diminished until nothing is there. She sighs, and the woman turns to meet the originator, where the voice is coming from. Before her, she sees a man garbed in white gold vestments with a white surcoat underneath. Across his face, his elegant face, is a half mask. And he has short, black, well-kept hair. And he looks at her with what could probably be described as disgust. Oh, the woman begins to speak. To what do I owe the pleasure, Cassius? Why have you come to my domain? Now. His eyes narrow as he slowly moves closer. Do not be coy with me, demon. You know exactly why I'm here. They have to be dealt with. Now. Whoever do you mean? You know. And he calms himself, readjusts his coat. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Them. Those three you're observing, I saw it. They can't be allowed to live. You know what they are. You know what they're capable of. I know what they're capable of. And the prophet, my lord, refuses to do anything about it. He doesn't see the true threat. And that bastard Gareth. He's not. You know what has to be done. So do I. And that's why I've come to you. Demon. Now. Cassius. She kind of straightens herself up. Gets a little taller and begins to slowly walk towards him. Placing her hand on the bottom of his chin. He almost smacks it away, but he doesn't. You know that I can't proceed without your help. Give them to me, and everything will proceed according to I have seen it. The man, Cassius, grimaces, and he pushes her away. Fine. But make no mistake, you better hold up to the end of our deal. Or you know the consequences. The prophet, no. I do not take kindly to those who go against the Imperium. We had an alliance in the past, and I will make sure that you see up to your end. Do not worry. When have I ever been known to trick others? He looks down, looks up at her again with anger and that same disgust in his eyes. He says, fine, take them. Do what you must. And then he walks away into the darkness, gone. And the matron, the woman, looks once again back to the dark pool, once again to the stone obelisk, and smiles. What a desperate fool. The scene changes, and we see the huge man that she described, the small but determined gnome, and the dour man with the dead eyes, walking through the veiled wood. As you all have gone forward through the trees, and into the forest, deeper into the forest, the amulet guiding you. The trees have become more withered, and yet strangely, the canopy is not full of dead leaves, but instead is full, preventing all but the smallest bit of light from escaping, blocked by the leaves and the vines. The air has become heavy. It is almost difficult to breathe. And you feel, while you're walking through this forest, the uncomfortable feeling that you are being watched. You have been walking for half a day at this point into this forest. What, I'll ask, Malvadrian, is on your mind?
Since coming into this forest, especially since after his kind of encounter with the Matrons, he's been even more on kind of tense. I don't know, it's something like twitchy. It's almost as if he's like always like hyper vigilant, basically, and his senses are almost like overloaded with just being aware of this kind of oppression and tense, um, something this undescribable feeling that he just really can't shake as as a twig snaps or anything rustles. It's like a hammer, or it's like a nail being hammered into his ear, and he turns out to be nothing. So Malvadrian's very much tense and on edge, and just kind of just really itching to get out of this forest. Just that's kind of where he's at.
Yes, and your chest aches, not to the point of pain, but it aches, and you feel
A tender
heavier
reminder. Mm-hmm.
of the Matron's curse. Yilligith, what is on your mind as you walk through this dark wood?
So, contrary to what would seem logical after the events that occurred back at the Gnome Village, Illigus is in high spirits. He wears a rather large smile and attempts to keep the pace up and to continues to try and motivate his comrades, despite the kind of dreary atmosphere. Illigus is doing all that he can to beam this aura of confidence. But as he talks and they walk, conversation dies a little bit, and he gets a little bit lost in his thoughts for a moment. And he reaches in one of his pockets and only briefly pulls out the scrap that remains of the mask that he pulled from Dante, or as he knew him, Lokir. But he shoves it back in his pocket. He pats Malvadrian on the back. Come on, we must pick up the pace. We have many good things to do today.
Malvadrian kind of annoyingly just kind of like nods and like picks up the pace and walks begrudgingly. He doesn't like your cheerfulness. Mm.
And it should be noted that you being cheerful is so out of place here in this dark wood, this unnatural place. As you know, in this entire time you've been in this forest, your divine sense has picked up just just the slightest bit of uneasiness and malice in this forest. This is an unnatural place, and you don't like it, to say the very least. Well, I was going to ask the third party member. Hey, Gnocchi, little gnome, what you feeling? How are you reacting to Illios' cheerfulness and Malvadrian's dour mood?
I think Noki would be almost in the same type of mood as Malvadrian, except he's not letting it show. He just has a look of determination. He's not really thinking about anything in particular. He has his rifle in his hand. He's got his eyes roaming each and every way, just in case. You never know. He's preparing himself for what's ahead. He's not thinking about anything that's happened recently. Just the mission ahead of him.
Very good. Good. You all continue walking for a little while longer. You've only been in this place a short time. Well, half a day. But you feel as if you've been walking for days, weeks. Yes, Illios.
I would like to imagine that we're in kind of an arrowhead formation. Kind of like a triangle. Instead of a line.
All right. What would you be at the front?
If that's all right.
How do the other two party members feel about that? Got Logan making decisions?
It's about time you made a decision.
Of Adrian. Well, actually. Saying it feels like y'all have been here for a lot longer than y'all actually have. And Adrian and Gnocchi are the first to hear the sound of very quiet whispers. And the sound of feet trudging, albeit lightly. There you go, Logan. Very softly through the forest around you.
Like towards us or away from us or
On the sides, behind you.
All around you.
All around you. No.
and we can't see anybody in the distance. Just the sounds at this point.
Yeah.
Do
At
we
this
know
point.
which direction?
What direction? Off to y'all sides, behind y'all. Not necessarily all around you because it doesn't sound like it's coming from like in front of y'all. Just behind.
We must be getting close. Hmm.
Why is it that you say that?
Kind of looks at you like you're an idiot for a second, and then he's like, the whispers. You listen.
Kind of squints a little, trying to make his ears tune in. I hear nothing.
I turned to Nyoki. You hear it, right?
I do. I do.
Well then, it is time to be on our guard.
And then as soon as those words stop, you hear barking. No.
Rip.
As soon as those words utter your lips, Illios, your divine sense picks up on something that you felt before.
Well, it's better late than never.
although to you, probably feels like a lifetime ago. The memory flashes of a small girl in an urn,
Sarah.
weeping.
My God.
Sarah Wright, that was her name. And as you feel this, you look around and you see where the whispers, what the soft fall of footsteps on the ground of this forest floor are coming from. All around you, you begin to see figures that appear almost as if like they're coalescing into reality. These ghostly figures that all around you are walking forward, each moving slowly but surely. And these figures begin to take shapes, the shapes of children, the shapes of women and men, the shapes of gnomes, the shapes of soldiers. And all these different beings, these spirits, are walking towards the same place where y'all appear to be heading. And you would note that these soldiers also look somewhat familiar, seeing as they are garbed in the same armor that y'all found in that crypt oh so long ago. And they don't appear to notice you as they continue to walk forward in this forest.
So is it kind of like almost a ethereal marketplace?
Yeah, I guess. All of these people moving towards a final destination, I guess.
In which direction?
Direction y'all are walking. How does that make you feel?
You're not my psychiatrist. Illigith is genuinely unsure. But since he doesn't feel pending danger or an immediate threat, he's not as tense, still kind of in a relaxed state.
And Molly, you said it was the same type of people who were at the crypt that we were at way back when.
Yeah.
So that would catch Mal's attention pretty, quickly. Not really to anybody. We just kind of say out loud. It's like, why would they be here? What? How are they connected to this woods? Well, I guess only one way to find out. Let's go, I guess. And we'll just walk forward.
How far away are they?
All around.
They are all around you. Off to some of them up here. Like maybe if y'all stopped and see like, wait, what the heck? Like they would keep moving. If you went up to one of them, they would almost seem to not notice you, and they would just keep walking.
Do any of them like pass through us?
Yes, if you stand in their way. And you feel cold as they do so.
Well then, we must be going in the right direction.
You in particular, Illigith, if you let them pass through you, or even at this point, would begin to feel these differing emotions you can only assume is what they felt at the time of their death. Anger, sadness, regret, fear.
No good.
No good indeed. And it is at this point that you hear a voice echoing throughout the wood. And as the voice echoes, the ghosts almost stop for a second and then continue. And the voice says,
"Well, it seems we have some visitors, sister." "Yes, Sister Teresa, I agree. Maybe we should pay them a visit."
and from behind a tree in front of you comes around this ghastly, it was like sickly, disgusting, ugly looking figure of a woman, this old woman with gray, decaying, like almost rubbery skin that just flops as she moves, just draped over this bony figure. Clothed in this tattered black cloth, and you can't see this woman's eyes, but she smiles, and these yellow dagger-like teeth show beneath the smile.
"Welcome to the Veiled Wood, our domain. To what do we owe the visit?"
I kind of look to Nyoki to answer, as these are his people. Or kind of just look at him.
Well, I'm waiting.
We're here for the hags.
Oh, well, I guess we are pretty famous around these parts. I myself, my name is Teresa, one of the 3 matrons that govern this forest. That you gnomes invaded and took for yourselves what does not belong.
What have we taken?
Our lands, our experiments. Well, my sister's experiments, at least. I only do the collecting. But that's not. I come to you with an offer. Visitors, would you hear me out?
I will make no deals with you, demon.
I am not a demon. I am just merely an old woman walking along the forest, wanting those who do not belong to leave. And I have an offer from my sister. The Godsworn, the child of Kel, and the gnome can leave unharmed.
It's at this point that the forest around you, like the vines and the canopy and like everything, just start to like sway a little bit. It's just like this wind just coming through the ground, like, not
And-
shaking, but just is disturbed.
And you have, forgive me, I'm going to interrupt.
Sure.
You have negated 2 of the party members, and Illigith knows this, and he is also perceptive to the grounds around him.
Yeah.
He's going to back up towards Malvadrian.
And if you offer,
As you back up.
the cursed one, the key, we will let you live and leave alive. We only require him. He is quite integral to the plans we have for this world. What say you?
And when we inevitably refuse,
Please do go on.
I've got a counter offer for you.
And what
Illigith
would
looks
that
shocked.
be?
You give us what we want, and we just leave.
I don't think you are in any position to be making demands, but I only imagine you want one thing.
I want a couple of different things.
Well, let me think.
And the woods around seem to grow just the tiniest bit darker. It seems the little bit of light. Yes, I thought a little bit of light is fading even more. And as she continues to speak,
Maybe the gnome friend that we have. Oh, wait. That's 2 of them, actually. And of course your loving mentor, Guildmaster. What was his name? Roveg. Oh, but I assure you we had nothing to do with what happened to him. All natural, of course. Oh, who am I kidding? We know what happened. A very quiet bunch. You're no fun. Let me just say this, gnome. Gnocchi. We will burn everything that you care about and love to the ground and kill everyone, enslave them. Or you could hand over Malvadrian von Silas. To what say you?
We hand him over, and you do that anyways. Why not put up a fight?
Well,
And as she's speaking these words, the sliver of light that is coming through is almost ebbed into non-existence.
Can I
And
still see my dark vision?
And you're all bathed in darkness.
And as soon as I'm unable to see, I had my hand floating near the wrist of Malvadrian, and I grab it as soon as I cannot see any longer. And I mutter, "The light. The Mother will protect you." As I cast protection from evil.
let us see how well that holds up.
And as she's speaking, what you would see in the small bit of light that I'm assuming is illuminated when you cast this spell, you see a dark, hollow eye socket and a dark, pitch black pupil across from it, and a toothy smile.
Well, let us begin, shall we?
Roll deck saves.
So I'm going to pull a Logan and go grab my dice that you put on my dining room table.
I rolled like a 6.
Awesome.
22.
All right.
Can I still see Molly with my dark vision or no?
Yes, you can. Go ahead and roll me that deck save. Healing you.
I'm going to critically fail.
Okay.
Sister?
And as he says, it's this hulking figure you can see barely illuminated in the light descends on all of you, smashing into the ground. Let's roll that bean footage, boys. Because that makes sense to those who don't get the reference.
AKA no one.
All right. To To those who failed, to those who failed, take 18 bludgeoning damage.
How do we know if you failed or not?
The people who got 6 and 1.
Good one.
I'm down.
Sorry, the dex save DC was 23. I'm sorry, you failed.
I'm gonna roll my death saving throw now. Up. That was a 1.
All right.
Rip.
So you take 9 damage, Yoki. And
well, let's see.
And you can see in front of you, and also you, Illios, since you critically failed, you are pinned to the ground by this huge creature that when you look, barely illuminated in the light of your protection from evil spell, is holding you down with this huge mismatched arm, holding you down to the ground. This gray, decayed, rubbery skinned monstrosity with the same yellow dagger-like teeth, but this one is huge, muscular, and apart as compared to the other hag. The empty eye socket is reversed, and the eye is in the other socket. Like they're each missing eyes, and they're opposite. You know what I'm saying?
The Fates.
Yeah.
Hercules.
And she grins, and as she holds you down, her hand begins to sizzle from the protection from evil. Said, "No gods have no power here. Son of Kel." Roll initiative.
So there are only 2 entities that we can see, right?
Yes, at this moment.
Well, that's not ominous.
Not at all.
All right, I rolled a 5, so freaking rip.
Feel better than me with
That's
your
a
bonus.
9 plus 4.
Guess I should roll for initiative as well. All right.
All right, this is not a good sign, Logan. I rolled a 2 and a 5 right out of the gate.
Yes, it's a good
Switching
sign.
dice.
No,
I
it's
rolled
good.
14
You got the
and
bad ones out.
Oh, that's right. Do I keep with it,
All
or do I try to? Oh, I'll keep with it.
Trust in
let's
the light.
see.
But it's the opposite of the toric dice.
Oh.
Son of a bitch. It's white instead of black.
What did you roll, Wesley?
Higher than me.
9.
9.
9.
All right, there's the initiative. Right, Nyoki in your dark vision, assisted a little bit by the soft glow of the protection from evil spell surrounding Illios. You see this huge hag-like monstrosity on top of him, pinning him to the ground, and the other hag across the clearing. What would you like to do?
Let me be clear.
Don't
I
get it
cast
twisted.
protection from evil on Malvadrian.
Oh, okay. Oh, you cast it on him. Okay, so the soft glow on Malvadrian. My bad.
Damn straight, bitch.
Always looking out for others.
I have my musket out, so I'm gonna take 2 shots at the hag that we were talking to. And it's gonna be 27 and 27. Roll 19 on both dice.
Right. All the good rolls are going to Nyoki tonight, boys. Sorry.
I'm telling you. All right, give them away.
All right. So let me just stop you right. There. Your gun goes off. The first shot rings, and you see in that split second that when you shoot that hag, her image shimmers, and she smiles. again. And then the image disappears. The illusion broken.
So, see my first shot do that. As I reload, I'm going to transfer my aim to the hag that is now pinning Illios.
Indeed.
My second shot.
Indeed, boys.
Heh.
Indeed.
I can math.
Oh, by the way, 27 does hit. Just in case. Just in case you weren't you weren't sure.
Nope, never entered my mind.
It'd be impossible for me to score higher without critting.
It was like, if I recall, even a 27 would hit Tiamat and base Tiamat in the monster manual.
Why are you looking ahead?
That's 16 damage.
16 damage, alright.
And then, as soon as the second shot fires, he throws the rifle onto his back and pulls out one of his pistols from his side.
Right, awesome. Alright. Now, it is the hag's turn. Unless you wanted to move away. Or do anything else.
Am I right next to it?
Yeah, you are in like this triangle formation. You could be anywhere between 5 to 10 feet from it. You pick which.
I'll just stay where I am.
Stay where you am. Stay where you
Hold
am.
position!
And so immediately, the first thing this huge creature does is with its other arm, swings at both of you, while it has Illios pinned to the ground. Gnocchi, you were able to duck under the blow, but Malvadrian, you take this thing, this huge fist, and when it hits you, it almost feels like it's made of stone. And I want you to go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
Screws me. All right, Logan, if this screws me, I'm blaming you.
Modder's got your back.
All right, that was a 14. That was respectable.
14.
That was a 14 flat.
All right. 14 flat. All right. So you take. Let me get this. Could still hit you. I should have these dice prepared.
Probably.
Oh, that's lame. You take 11 bludgeoning, and you miss because you missed the save by 1. You go flying back 15 feet.
You said 11 damage?
Yes. 11 bludgeoning, and you go flying back 15 feet.
And just like that, boys, I'm at half health. If health is a number that you can measure in this world, which
Indeed.
Indeed.
All right, and so she does this, and that hag looks down at you, Illios, and smiles, and from the darkness, you hear. And these glowing sets of yellow eyes begin to appear out to the sides in this darkness. 3 sets of 2. And they move an inch closer towards all of you. One of them jumps and attempts to pile onto Illios, but is smacked away.
Bye.
I don't know. How would you dodge it, Illios?
I am pinned.
You are. Oh, yeah, advantage. Still misses.
That's right.
He's that good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess you just like smack this thing away with one of your free arms. And,
I would like to just imagine that it misses.
all right,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I'm a little occupied.
And around all of you, these vines, this huge, what you can see, I guess, in the limited form of light, and you'll be able to see it clearly. You see this huge vine just erupt from the ground, and it would swing down at Gnocchi. Gnocchi, make a dexterity saving throw.
Boy.
13.
You're very close to me. Add 2.
15.
All right, how do you dodge the vine?
With my gnomish nimbleness.
And divine inspiration.
And
No, nimbleness.
and by gnomish nimbleness, I mean the hand of Ilmater pushes me aside.
This vine smacks into the ground, and you dodge it.
I laugh at
And
it.
sorry, what?
I laugh at the vine.
You laugh at the vine. And also, throughout the clearing, the hag's laugh is echoing.
Molly,
Yes.
did you watch Until Dawn gameplay?
No.
Rats. I don't think any of y'all did then.
Of Adrian.
I was gonna say this what I think that this hag looks like, but it's all right.
It
Irrelevant.
looks. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yes, I have. It looks like the.
Hannah, the Wendigo.
Yep. That is
Specifically
indeed.
hers.
That is indeed an image.
Okay, good. I'm glad I got it right.
All right, of Adrian.
Can you re-describe to me like the position of the two? One of them's on top of Illigith, right?
Yeah, this
Okay.
huge one is on top of Illigith, pinning him to the ground. This huge vine had grown up between Illigith and Yoki, or at least besides them, and tried to smack at Yoki, but he dodged it deftly. And you don't see the other hag, and her laughter is just echoing throughout the clearing. But you do see that hag and these 3 sets of glowing eyes.
So what was the thing that hit me?
Thing that hit you was the huge hag using her free arm to smack at both of you to try and knock you all away from Illigith.
Okay. And I got kind of like launched 15 feet in the air.
Yes, you did.
So
Or
I'm 15 feet away.
Yeah, 15 feet back. Yeah.
So I kind of imagine like me being like knocked off my feet, and I kind of, when I land, I kind of like roll backwards back onto my feet, and I kind of like, like, and like go into a dash, and I kind of bring out my crossbow, and I'm gonna quicken a flame arrows, which is basically a hunter's mark, but it's kind of cooler. So anyway, like I'm gonna toss my hand crossbow over to my left hand where my mark of Minty is, and kind of imbue it with some Minty magic real fast, and kind of like put it back to my main hand. And what I kind of want to do is I want to run up behind, kind of like, so if I got knocked back like this way, I would kind of like run at an angle like if imagine that's like the center of the circle, and I'm kind of like running around the circumference. I'm gonna fire 2 shots on the run at like the back of the big one. All right, don't fuck me. All right, respectable, like a 24 and a 16.
All right, and these are attacks on the hag.
The big one on Logan.
The Wendigo.
Yeah, the Wendigo. No, a very muscular Wendigo. Yes.
Dude, they're superhuman strength. You remember?
All right, they both hit.
Okay, so the first one takes, so the first arrow, and so I guess when it gets shot from the crossbow, the bolt It kind of has this almost like shimmering, not shimmering, it's not the right word. It's kind of like, you see that color of the letters? Like that silverish kind of like hue?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a silverish aura type of thing. Kind of like, I kind of see it almost like it's going so fast it's kind of splitting like the air type of thing, and it's like a silvery like a comet almost, like a comet. Anyway, that's kind of neither here nor there. So the first one does 13 damage. That's 10 from like the crossbow bolt and 3 from the shimmering aura. And the second one does 5 plus 9, 4 plus 9 plus 5 is 14 plus. Sorry, I'm trying to find my die 8. And the other one does 15 points of damage, worth 5 coming from the glimmering aura and 10 coming from the crossbow bolt. So that's, I think, 15 and what was the first thing I said? 14, I think? 13? I forget.
I think so. Let's go with 14.
All right.
All right, so in all, how much damage is it?
29 total,
29
with like
total.
9 coming from the shimmering aura,
All right, so
and the rest of it coming from the crossbow.
as these bolts fly, the lights of the shimmering aura on these bolts just kind of lights up the area as they go in that arc, and they sink into the putrid flesh of this thing, and she recoils back a bit, but it still has Illios pinned to the ground. And she looks up at you with a hateful smile.
I smile right back at her.
And as she looks back, sorry, I had to.
Because I'm anticipating what's going to happen next. There's a smirk that just kind of crosses my face as soon as she breaks eye contact from Illios. I just have a knowing smirk on my face.
So, are you good? Are you done?
Indeed.
I am done, good sir. I'm kind of like running towards, like, I think you just heard what I described earlier, like kind of like a semicircle around him type of thing. So running kind of towards that way.
Maintain formation.
Oh man, repeating fire.
So I see
Right.
the hag she has Illios pinned. Him, even though his figure is massive, is just being dug into the dirt, almost like a Goliath's imprint now. But as these shimmering bolts strike the hag, and she is, her gaze turns at Malvadrian, Illios, his muscles bulging, teeth grimacing, he says, "You matter! Let your light shine!" And his right hand emits this bright light. That's a bonus action. And and he uses all of his might to grab the appendage that is pinning him down, and to just push it off as he kind of gets up on a knee and pushes this hag back. And I'm going to use athletics to see how far I can take that.
How far can you take that? Let's contest it.
So that's a natural 20.
And that is a critical fail.
Okay. Well, okay.
Well, I'm just gonna let you describe what happens.
So I see this figure, even though it's like kind of hulking and lanky. I don't see it as like muscular like the Wendigo. It just has this unnatural strength.
Yeah.
And Illios is able to push up, get his knee under, and in the process, he just shoots up like a bolt of lightning towards this thing, like a rubber band that was just held tightly and unleashed, and smashes into it. using all of his force to push it back and just pile drive it as far back as he can.
And you said that you got up lightning fast. That was so. It really was so fast that she could not react to it. She thought that she had you pinned down for good. You sure as hell proved her wrong. Like, oh man.
Yeah, and so I'm not letting go. Like, this whole action is me grabbing on and pushing back as far as I can, using all of my strength to contain her from lashing out at my allies.
Yep. All right. And what I'd also like you to do is, since she critically failed, go ahead and roll like you'd be making like one attack, like the damage die, or for that.
I really was hoping that you would allow me.
Yeah, and she's gonna take that bludgeoning damage.
So, well, that's a 1 plus mod is 5.
Okay. Still 5 points of righteous damage.
F yeah.
All right.
And so now I don't know to the extent of this darkness and its magic, but if it's naturally dark, then there is now light within, bright light within 20 feet around me, tapering off.
All right. Well, there you go. You've pretty much illuminated the visible target at this point. And now that you've actually lit up those 3 sets of glowing eyes, you look at them, they basically look like shadow hounds. I guess like these shadow dogs, these big dogs that are kind of shying away, and they at the light that you have cast, and they're kind of backing back into the darkness.
All right.
Yogi.
Tip of the morning.
He said it in an Irish accent because you're a gnome.
He's muted. And yes, Mullen.
How big is this clearing, Molly, that we're in? Or not clearing?
This clearing, I wouldn't exactly call it a clearing, but I would say it's basically I would just say open forest, just with these big withered trees and this canopy that have kind of come together. These leaves have like constricted, like even more, not allowing any natural light to come through at all.
How high above it is? Like between
How
the
high
ground?
above the trees?
How high does like darkness go? You know what I mean?
How high does it go?
Yeah.
Probably like the height of the trees, probably like, I don't know, 12 to 15 feet.
Right. And you said this thing's like backing away from the light?
These shadow hounds are, yes.
Right. I'm going to put my pistol back away and pull out the newly acquired shotgun. And right above where these shadow hounds are, I'm going to shoot at the trees to see if I can bring in more light, natural light.
All right.
I don't know what you're going to roll for that.
I mean, you're hitting trees. You don't need to roll. I assume that with your skill and marksmanship, you can hit unmoving targets.
Yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere fast.
I can fire at a bunch of trees.
But yeah, so you fire into the canopy to make holes for the natural light to come through. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. You do so, and these huge holes have been opened up from the force of your gunshots. I mean, not something that like a bolt or an arrow would have been able to accomplish. And these huge holes are created, and the light pours in, and these shadow hounds begin to disintegrate in the light and are disappearing.
I'm gonna do. So say if I shot it straight ahead, I'm gonna look to the right or the left just a little bit and fire again with my second shot from the shotgun.
All right.
Using that boomstick.
Definitely what it's called.
I thought the musket was the boomstick.
Well, we have
Well, this is the new toy.
boomstick and bigger boomstick. I don't know.
Yeah.
More forceful boomstick.
Short-ranged boomstick.
Could just call it a shotgun. No!
It goes boom, therefore it is boomstick.
All right, no, I'm sorry. What was the second shot being aimed at?
Same thing, except off to the side a little bit to create more holes.
Yeah, and this thing's a shotgun. It creates a huge hole. And apart from like the initial, because this thing scatters, there are basically like multiple holes. Like basically like in the clearing that we're all in the combat right now, it is a sufficiently illuminated at this point for those without dark vision. And as more light pours in, these shadow hounds again look like they're dispersing.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to reload. I will be done with my turn.
All right, there you go. And it's funny as you do this, and as you're reloading, you feel these 3 bolts of magical energy just blast into your back, making you stumble forward. And if I can do math is hard, sorry guys. You take 12 force damage as these 3 magic missiles fire. 12. I'm gonna fire into your back, and apart from that, this grasping vine also tries to shoot out at you once more, to try and lift you up into the air. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Stop doing this to me.
No,
19.
you save.
21 says Illigath.
So
I don't know
yeah,
how close I am to you now.
So yeah, you're hit. You're hit with these 3 bolts of magical energy. You stumble forward, and this vine tries to reach down at you to try and flick you up into the air, but you definitely dodge it anyway, despite being hit by the magical missiles.
Because no.
And you can see that kind of hovering off to the side, now that she has cast magic up in the air, this hag that was talking to y'all. Up there with a slightly satisfied grin on her face. Yeah, so it looks like she's being held aloft by some kind of wind as she's there towards the canopy of the trees.
Or perhaps the cloak of levitation.
Or perhaps that.
You hear Nokia dibs.
Get those magic items in you. Magic items in a Molly campaign? Impossible.
I don't know, Molly. We got gold.
Of Adrian, it's true.
We got like 18 gold.
Of Adrian doesn't use gold.
No, he does.
He uses chickens.
He barters.
Except for the first session.
Yeah. It's only to buy his alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Hey, do you mind if we switch me and Illigeth's thing real fast? I have to go do something just real super quick.
We could just pause.
No, it's not a big deal. Like it'll take me like a second, but I think I'm pretty sure. Okay. All right. I'll be right back. Shit. Okay.
Of Adrian, as he's preparing to do whatever he is going to do next, magically disappears. Has he been captured? Was he a figment of y'all's imagination this entire time for the past year? Who knows?
It's an elaborate illusion.
Indeed.
Is it really a year if we were missing for half of it?
It was only 2 months.
Sorry, guys. I was talking about a year in real time.
Me too.
Well,
I literally have to see what Malvadrian does before I know what I'm going to do, so not going.
I'll take this opportunity to be right back in 30 seconds.
In the meantime, the Rockets bought a League of Legends team.
Lol. Strange.
So did the Golden State Warriors, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Dude, sign up. You could be
Dude.
next.
I seen the NBA franchise.
Get on it.
Then buy my own team. This dude bought the Rockets for $1 bajillion and then dropped another $10 million for a league. Welcome back.
Hey.
I'm back.
No way.
No.
Did everybody take a moment?
Well, let me take my moment.
Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. How are you feeling, Wesley?
I'm really tired. I'm still getting over my 36-hour day.
Had to get that cram in.
Yeah, I had a test on Wednesday and then 2 essays the following day. Or 3 essays, I mean. So it was awful.
I stress out over just having one essay, so.
I mean, so granted, it was only like a 4 or 5 page like paper for both of them, or for all 3 of them, or for both. Yeah, there's 2 of them that were due. But it still was just kind of like.
Wesley, you gotta understand, I stress out over like 2.5, 3-page papers. I do not like writing when it comes to school.
We good?
Yep, alright, everyone's here. Now, Adrian, what you gonna do?
Can you like recap like what was going on? Because I kind of like so like what was like the last thing that happened?
Last thing that happened is Gnocchi got hit in the back by these three magic missiles and deftly dodged the huge vine that has just been trying to grab at him for these last 2 rounds, but he keeps dodging it.
And that big one, the easy one to hit, still here?
Well, what he was also going to say was now the black, the dark gray hag was illuminated to be floating, casting spells.
Yep. And so because this is cooler, it actually looks like her robe is basically like this robe of shadows that is just like ebbing and flowing like in and out as she's hovering or levitating in the air, casting these spells.
Kind of like in my arc still, I guess I'll change kind of. I'm still just gonna basically I'm just gonna shoot 3 times, but still kind of running in like a circling around type of deal. I'm gonna shoot straight at her with my minty-ish arrows. Hopefully I can do some damage. Alright, that was a crit.
Hey!
It was like my first crit ever of all time in this campaign.
Go.
14. I'm pretty sure that doesn't hit. And a 19.
Yeah.
And who are you targeting?
The floating woman in the sky.
The Black Hag.
Yeah, float. Yeah. Black Hag. Alright. Floating that. Alright, so yes, your first or go and describe your 20 your big number hits. So the crit obviously hits your first shot. The 14 does not.
Okay. Okay, so the last attack does 2, and then I forget how you do crits. You just have your I forget. It's been a while.
So I do crits as the damage dice of the weapon you're using. Usual or like normal D&D rules say you roll like if you're using 1d6, you'd roll 2d6 instead and add your modifier. I always like it for that second one to have your damage maximized already.
So damage die plus modifier and then roll.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. I kind of rolled crappy on all of these, but it's all good. So the last attack is 10, and the first attack did 20. So there's a combined total of 30 with all of the like modifiers and Colossus Slayer and all that kind of stuff.
Yep. You're like crap there.
And yeah. So she had just fired like 3 shots at Gnocchi, correct?
Yes. These are 3 magic missiles. And how much damage did the last shot do in particular? The 19?
Oh, 20?
20?
Oh, you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Lord.
yeah. So your first bolt hits. The second, of course, it gets her in a vital area, and she shrieks, and she falters a little bit in the air. But as the final bolt comes through, the shimmering field of energy just appears between her and the bolt is broken and deflected. And she looks at you with hate in her eyes. She casts shield.
What a bitch.
I know, right?
Right, and I end my turn.
Meanwhile,
in Logansveld.
So tell me, because I don't believe that you covered this on their turn, what did the Wendigo Grey Hag do?
Oh, I thought he was gone, or she was gone. I would have shot at him if. Oh, okay. It's okay.
Oh man, did I really not?
Yep, you really did, and I had it grappled.
Yeah, I was gonna shoot the crap out of that, but they said there was a floating hag in the sky, so I just assumed that like it transformed or something. So.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Can I just transfer over the 30 damage to the other one instead? Because I wouldn't have shot it if I'd have known. It's asymmetric information, man.
Oh my gosh, I really did that. Okay.
I think it's cool. I think it's good. Yoki's back is covered now.
Yes. All right. Some retcon here. All right. So, actually, not retcon. This is exactly what you did. I just didn't relay the information. Yeah, like as you. So Illigith, you basically pushed her away. You like countered the grapple and pushed her away from everyone, right?
Right, and I'm kind of in the process of continuous like kind of like a football practice dummy, like pushing the hag backwards, like in the process of doing that.
Yep. All right. And so as you do this, she's initially struggling, but you're still pushing her back anyway. And eventually, instead of trying to push you off, she instead breaks free with one of her arms. Well, actually, no, that'd be a contest at athletics. So let's do that.
Indeed. I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
Contest me. Hate my life.
What do you get?
How many do I have? Inspiration! Well, I got one better. God, screw me. Okay, that's a... Oh my gosh, what's expertise?
Double proficiency.
6. That's a 15.
All right, she is able to break free with her 17.
Oh, you!
One of her arms, and instead of breaking away from you, she instead brings it around you in this big bear hug, just constricting the muscles in her arms and trying to crush you.
That's my job.
Give me a strength saving throw.
Are you kidding me right now?
I'm not kidding you right now.
Stop with the 4s!
Lie.
Lie.
I mean, what?
4s.
Roll 2 4s.
Well, that's a 10.
It's a 10. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. I should probably have these dice ready beforehand, but let's see.
I don't blame you for not preparing for me to fail.
Holy shit.
Shit.
Okay. All right. You feel the bones
In my back break.
in your arms, your back just begin to crack. It's like the tiniest bit. She is literally squeezing the life out of you as you take 26 points of bludgeoning
I'm Batman.
damage.
I'm gonna roll my D12
The backbreaking part, at least.
as I attempt to channel my ancestors and shrug it off with my genetics. I'm gonna get rid of 6 of that, so 20.
All right, there you go.
I never roll high on that.
I think you did the last time you used it.
I think I rolled a 1.
I don't know. All right, so yeah, she's basically she had you pinned down. You pushed her away. And then she was able to break free, and you are now in this crushing bear hug. And she's just a slow laugh. So that is what she did on her turn.
All right.
Excuse me, if you look at this thing, you're not sure. You think it's a she. You're not sure.
Well, the other one's been calling it sister, so.
Yep. There you go.
Well, I don't know in current politics.
It's like, how is this thing a female? All right.
Rip.
How about we
no,
not get into gender politics?
Supernatural.
Right. So, Wesley, you said that you would have hit her, or you're trying to hit her.
Whatever it identifies itself as, I hit that, which hulks and hurts physically
So he would have crit.
with my bows of the cross bolts.
and so, so yeah, Illigith, you feel as these bolts sink into her arm. The crit in the 19.
So what happens after the crit?
Everything.
Exactly. After the crit, she loosens her grip on you, and you are able to break free.
What?
It's crushing bear hug. It's a crit, man. It's a crit.
It's a crit, man.
Man. Shit happens on a crit.
Retcon for the win.
Retcon for the win.
Wow, I feel like I owe you my life.
Well, you know,
Oh, wait.
maybe you do.
Did.
Oh,
Beat
yeah.
the out of life.
Technically, we wouldn't be in
It's
the
like
situation.
Hate you.
You owe me your undeath? Question mark?
I am not a monster.
Said only a monster would have the need to verify that it was not a monster.
Pulls aside
Okay.
his tunic to see the hole in his chest.
Okay. All right. So, now that my bones are no longer being broken, I'm going to retaliate. As I kind of slip underneath, rather than breaking free using strength, I slip underneath. I have armor on. Thank you. Sorry. I slip underneath as she momentarily like twitches, shrugging off that blow. And as I do that, I kind of rear back onto one knee, almost in the same position I was as I was breaking free from her pinning me, and my shield in front of me and my fist behind me, ready for an upward strike. And it was illuminated by this divine light, and now the flames wrap around Illigith's arms as he casts branding smite and goes straight for the kill. Upward.
Oh,
There's
shit.
a massive uppercut right back into the arms that had him grasped, except this time on the offense. Straight for the uppercut in the chin. With an 18 die roll.
That does indeed hit.
Just want to make sure. Okay. You can't become invisible. That's the only other stipulation. Extra 2d6. Get out of there. Yes! That'll be 8 plus 8. 16. 16 points.
I was
And
really
now-
hoping
What? Sorry.
I was really hoping you were going to say 88. Continue.
I mean, I would love to I don't have
Nope,
that
continue.
ability. No, so this one is straight smash through the attempting to just like a jawbreaker
All
of
right.
radiant damage.
Indeed, man. Exactly what Ryan just said. Torn jaw treatment.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you smash into her jaw, and you can feel it dislocate as you smash her upward, and she stumbles back from the force of this blow, and you can see her slack jaw, and with all this broken teeth in her mouth, and as she stumbles back and brings one of her huge mismatched arms up to try and wipe away some of the blood, and you can see, of course, because it was branding smite, symbol of Ilmater.
Yes, I was gonna get to that. Thank
On
you.
her chin. Yep. What does that look like again?
So the symbol of Ilmater is the two crossed hands. You can just say it's on her chest or like her forehead or something. Probably her forehead.
All right.
Yeah, I like
that.
that.
It's like no matter. It's like she's hitting the jaw, but the brand is seared into her forehead.
Try as you may, monster, you cannot overcome the light.
And she looks back to you, and she looks back at you. We shall see about that.
I would like to imagine me clenching my fist tighter, causing the brand to sear into her forehead. And then as I do that, I lift my shield in front of me in preparation. Finally, for the first time in the combat, I'm on steady ground and I'm ready.
I was an even fight. Yoki.
Right. How far away is the floating lady?
It's in your range. Probably. What's the range on your guns?
My pistols is 40 feet, 120
Yeah,
for the musket,
Yeah,
30
she's in range.
Right. So after now clearing the two holes into the vegetation, Nokus drops his shotgun where he stands, reaches down to his side and pulls out his two pistols, turning around to face the direction where he was just hit by these three magic missiles to the back. He gleams into her eyes and he fires 7 shots.
Oh,
Freaking quick draw McGraw.
yeah, that's a thing. Forgot about that.
You mean roll these and then tell you what I get, or?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say this outright. Her shield AC is 22. I'm just gonna say that.
Alright.
Because I think she might put it up after the onslaught, that the supernova that we haven't seen, or the supernova we saw last session.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Alright. So I'm going to end up hitting with 4, 19, 15, 19, 23, 27, 24, 22. You said 22 or 23 hits?
2.
22 hits.
Okay. That'd be 4 out of 7.
Wow, beat me odds.
He unleashes his clips. And I'm going to use my grit to add an extra 3d10 damage.
Oh man, I hope they don't blow up. I think he likes the risk.
Alright.
I think there's like a remember Roveg battle cry that needs to happen.
One sec. Nothing.
Yoki just pulls out a calculator in the middle of the fight.
Hold on.
Like a little gnomish calculator, and the hag just like, and
And then bah!
yeah, he's like, no, just give me a second.
Next time I defeat Molly, I can make a calculator.
Oh my god.
God, I forgot you could actually make that.
Just lug around an abacus.
Yeah,
That
just
is
get
going
that.
to be 71 damage.
And only 4 shots hit.
Now 7d10 plus.
We're not. Molly?
Hello?
There are two of you.
My
the other
God.
one's an imposter, I swear. I'm the real master of dungeons.
Oh my god.
My.
Yep, not
You're like
sure
twins
what
in
just
that.
happened, but
73 damage.
71.
1.
God bless.
Doing what he
All
does.
right, so and you said 4 shots hit out of 7?
Correct.
Hold on. Not 71. I miscalculated.
The imposter left.
Yeah. 63 damage.
Oh.
63.
I accidentally added modifier to the first, or the last 2. Grit point shots.
Oh man, so all right. So she looks down. She looks down at you. She's actually looking at a Malvadrian right now. But then out of the corner of her eye, she sees a blinding flash of light, and she brings up her arm in this shimmering shield, and the first three shots are blocked with a thunderous boom that then crack this magical shield as she is bombarded with the supernova of bullets that easily break through her defenses, and she crumbles to the ground, falling, landing with a thud. But she's still barely moving.
I would hope so. Stand and fight.
You and your damned gnomish weapons.
He just smiles at her. I thought you'd be stronger.
Oh! Oh! Burn! That got deeper than any weapon.
All right. And coincidentally, it's now her turn. Yeah. She gets up, wobbling from her position on the ground, and looking up, this blood oozing from her empty eye socket, and the other eye glaring directly at you. She says, Motorataku. In this deep voice, very different from the old lady-like voice, creepy old lady-like voice she was using before. And Yoki, I want you to make me a charisma saving throw.
I hope you're close.
Am I
He's
close
not.
to looking?
I don't think so.
12.
Rip. We didn't maintain formation.
What you see...
Is this magical?
no.
15.
Ah!
Oh, thank God. All right.
Gnome to the rescue.
So
No,
now... Oh, you misinterpret my statement.
I mean, I try.
You did try.
You're just not dead.
You're just not dead. That's correct. So, Malvadrian, if you're looking, you see Nyoki being ripped from this plane of existence. And he disappears into a void opened up in reality.
Flame, is that you?
I've always wanted to travel.
and is pulled in by these grotesque black-looking hands,
Okay, that just got bad.
and the void disappears.
So just to be clear, he's not like in the in-between and you're like fronting me like quick time event, jump in and save him. It's like he's already been pulled through the void, right?
Yeah, yes.
Is the void portal still open? Come on, man.
Nope.
If you're looking at Noki's face now, you see the smile.
Was it a yes or a no? I didn't hear it.
That was a no.
Okay. I jumped through it anyway. I make my own portal, damn it.
I made my own portal.
Doctor Strange?
Okay.
And now, if you had seen Noki's
No
face,
mamu.
he was smiling before he was pulled in, but as he was pulled, his smile grew bigger.
He's probably fine.
Might be a tad bit insane, but he's fine.
He's just...
I still have 3 shots left in my crossbow. It's time to use them.
Oh yeah, I forgot to do this. Also, I'm just kidding. I did that to scare you. No. Alright, so
Take the damage. All of it.
yeah. Yeah, and so Gnocchi, you are falling through this dark void. It feels like you look down, you see no bottom, and you're just endlessly falling, crackling, or this cackling in the background pervades as you continue to fall. And I want you to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Is this against magic?
No, of course not.
16.
All right. And so you take half the damage. You take 13 psychic damage as this cackling pervades your psyche, and these dark, twisted images appear throughout your descent of your loved ones being corrupted, pulled apart, maimed, and destroyed.
And then you realize that's actually true.
I was like, that's already happening in Aerobic.
And then,
It was Malvadrian all along.
yep,
For some reason, I don't see Malvadrian being pulled apart.
That's because I'm in on the deal, buddy.
Whoa. Whoa.
Double agent.
I'll be back for you.
oh man. And so this,
Enjoy hell.
and so because that's only one part of the hag's turn,
Bring it on.
Round 2, motherfucker.
she, you see her, and as she begins to approach you, Illios,
That broken jaw.
with her slack jaw charging, these spikes protrude from her now hardened skin as she once again tries to tackle you to the ground.
You can try.
She couldn't try.
And she did.
By the way, I have no idea what happened to Gnocchi.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Shield up, ready to strike. You block the first blow,
Dang right.
feeling like this huge hammer, and knocks you back, but you hold anyway, and you do the same for the second hit. And she brings up both of her hands, clasping her huge hands, in this big final thing, and she brings both of them down on top of your shield,
It'll hold.
and it still holds.
Oh my god! What? Are you okay? The F else happens. Like last time this happened, my shield was destroyed.
Okay, so here's the thing. I barely missed your AC 3 times, basically. And, like, I rolled so low.
I'll play it off. I'll play it off.
Yeah, right? So,
That's like massive, massive bolster to Illigoth right there. I just feel Illigoth just sitting there. The first hit, smash, and his feet dig in, almost like when she was pinning him, and just dig into the dirt. The second hit, smash, and I mean at this point we're 2, 3, 4 inches into the ground, and the last one, boom, and Illigoth is like 6 inches into the dirt here, holding his ground.
that was badass. Take a point of inspiration for that. And Malvadrian, or what's your immediate reaction as Gnocchi is pulled from this plane of existence?
He was smiling, right?
The smile got bigger as he was pulled.
He just kind of shakes his head and grins, and then runs off. Runs. You know, he's kind of like running this really like long circle. He's probably like had like a semicircle, and like he just saw Gnocchi. He just kind of shakes his head, grins, and continues running in the circle. I'm not really sure why this circle thing is continuing to be a thing, but I feel like it'd be kind of lame to just stop halfway through.
Strategic.
Hopefully the combat will end once it comes full circle.
Good one.
Okay. Is that another way of saying it's my turn?
Yes.
All right. Has Logan killed it yet? I mean, like, it should be like pretty, like, you know, like.
Are you kidding me?
Like,
I've hit it once.
I mean, like, you know. I mean, it's like dead though. You know, it's like 1 foot in the grave. But it's the only thing left.
What my purpose is? My purpose is to literally brawl with this thing. I don't do damage. This is just muscle versus muscle. There's. I mean, I'm.
All right, continue the weird
this freaking thing up. But...
half circle run, and unleash my 3 bolts. All right.
Don't worry about me. Be strong.
Thanks, buddy. 21, 21, 23, 29. Man, screw that other dice, man, or die. All right, that was like 19, 18, and 29, so I'm pretty sure those all hit.
Kill this mother trucker. Bring our gnome back.
Are you shooting right now?
Molly's like, yeah, right.
No, but seriously, are you shooting right now?
11. What do you mean?
Where are you shooting right now?
The mother trucker attached to Illigoth. Was like,
Okay,
like,
just making sure. Just making
I mean,
sure.
like, Gnocchi's fine. He doesn't need my help. He was grinning. That doesn't mean that means, bro, I'm good.
As demonic hands reach out of
Bro, he's fine. He's fine, bro. He's fine. If there's anything I know about Gnocchi is that he would resent my help.
LOL.
Right?
You know what? You're right.
He's a one-man army. He doesn't need my help. He's good. He's good. All right. 15 for the first attack. 15 for the second. Oh, son of a slut. 30. 31. Okay. There's a lot of math. It's kind of weird. All right. All right. From those 3 attacks, it's about 43 damage across 3 attacks. I rolled really high. All right. So, like, narratively speaking, is it dead or is it still alive? Hello?
I sure hope this thing goes down, because there's something I really, really want to do.
Of course, that's when Molly goes mute. So,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It's okay.
Not like it's combat hanging in the balance or anything, but,
You know what? This will actually work out. I'm glad you stuck with it. This will work out. If it goes down, I think it'll really work out.
Wait, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to do something to it? Like,
No spoilers!
kill... Okay. Well, I mean, synergy, man. Synergy. I
want Yogi back.
Dude, he's fine. He was smiling.
He's
all right.
Totally fine. Don't worry about it.
He's a one-man army. All right. He
come back
my
with,
help.
like,
I told you.
Some
At least
story.
I'm going low.
All right.
Hello.
Okay. How much damage did you do?
All right. 43 combined total across 3 attacks.
43, huh?
I envision like
Yeah.
splitting bolt.
So how does this thing go down?
Oh yeah. So Logan, can you set
If you
what's happening? The shield thing.
I'm so ready.
Do it.
So I just see slow motion. As these bolts, glistening, fly right in front of me, making their impact in this monstrosity. And as it reels back, stunned, Illios enacts his signature move. He grabs the monster, not the gnome, by the throat, lifts it up, engulfing its skull in holy fire, and looks over his shoulder at the abyssal witch who stole his friend that he doesn't know about, and flings the wretched creature at its sister in an inferno.
And Mal runs up and kicks its dead body and it's like, "Yeah, bitch."
I would
runs
like
away.
I would like you to make a ranged projectile attack with the hag as the weapon, using your strength.
I'll make whatever you want me to make.
That's a die 100 damage roll, right?
F yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna
Little
roll.
D&D humor.
What do I add?
Oh, your strength.
Just my strength.
What? Oh, sorry, for the attack roll. I mean, yeah, your proficiency, of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you're
17.
proficient in throwing giant ass things.
7. Yes, I am proficient in doing.
It's a holy weapon.
That's my specialty. It's a holy weapon. I like that. I just see this like ragdoll of a creature.
So what's the weapon of your religion? Oh, the flaming skulls of our enemies.
I am a Goliath after all.
Oh my god.
Lord almighty.
Please put that on a t-shirt.
I want to write that down. Can I write that down, Molly? Give me a sec.
Okay.
Oh man.
So what is the weapon of your... What is the weapon of your god?
Oh man. That would be a church service everyone would be happy to attend.
Can y'all give me that for my birthday?
Did the priest just literally rip the head off that one guy and light it on fire? That's, dude. Are you new? Is this your first, Ilmater sermon? Come on.
Noob.
This is like every other 6 months that we play.
I need an Illios shirt, guys. We need a Mal, a Gnocchi, and Illios shirt. Oh my, we're doing it. Anyway, back to the action.
Yeah.
What happens?
All right, and so you throw this husk, this giant husk of a thing, on onto the other hag.
After I make vicious eye contact with it,
And
the
she's
hag.
and she's barely recuperating from the thing, trying to stand up. And she looks up, and there's this huge shadow over her. And the last thing she sees is the hulking body of her sister driving itself. Oh my goodness. Falling on top of her, and she lets out this screech before it lands with a giant thud. It shakes the ground a little bit, the sheer weight of this thing, and she goes silent.
But Illigith is not done.
Nay, he is only getting started.
Indeed. After the body collides with the black hag, Illigith turns, facing them, and walks in this kind of like badass fashion towards them, eyes trained on this like massive bodies. Kind of, it's like his eyes are like you've seen before, like with the with Tornjaw, but they're not. It's not like quite gone. Illigith is definitely still there, but there's just this hint in his eyes, this white light. Melvadrian, are you okay? As he says as he walks toward the hags.
I mean, yeah. Are you?
Such
Anyway.
immersion, bro.
I'll let him.
I'm sorry.
So that's what I end my turn doing.
Way to kill the immersion, man.
Yeah.
All
Now,
right, Molly, next time you take someone's head off and light it on fire, you can rail me about immersion. But until that day,
It's funny you say that. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, so that's how you ended your turn, I guess.
Yes, that is how I ended my turn because I want my friend back. Now I have definitely noticed that Gnocchi is missing.
All right. And so the bodies of these two hags catch like catch like paper to a flame from the radiant fire that you have. Oh my goodness. This radiant fire that you have hit them with, and it just kind of engulfs them. And you're like, your back is to him, like, I don't know, some badass.
No, my back is. I'm not. No. I'm walking to them.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you're
like
walking
them in flames, so like my silhouette is like my back. It's black.
Okay.
And as I do this, I'm like almost in this divine enraged trance, but I still bother to ask Mal how he's doing, kind of biting my words as Gnocchi is not there.
Yeah. All right. So, speaking of Gnocchi.
No.
Oh, okay, I guess not then. Gnocchi stays in the other plane for an eternity. And sorry, you're going to have to roll up a new character.
Illigith will go to the ends of the earth.
I'll just play Raymond.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Okay, I can't do it then.
Yeah. Unacceptable.
I can't do it.
Raymond will be my turtle wizard.
Alright. So, Gnocchi, as you're falling like through this void, you see, below you, where you saw just endless darkness, like this endless abyss that had no end.
What's up, Papa?
A rift opens up and light pours into it, and you fall through it, and you see Nyoki fall to the ground from the plane of dimension wherever he went, back to the material plane, kind of bouncing on the ground
Like a basketball.
like a basketball. So, please continue.
No key lays there. His hair almost, it's all back. But he just lays there.
Right, Illios, what would you want to finish the scene?
Okay. So I'm surprised. Okay, no tricks up the sleeve just yet. So yes, as I get closer, it's less Illigith and more this divine embodiment of justice as he walks toward these things. He takes his shield and attaches it to his back, both hands free, and walks to the creatures. He takes the gray one and throws it aside. Are they still are either of them moving at all?
No.
Okay. Too bad, because he's gonna grab the black one also by the throat and lift it up. Hold on, gathering thoughts. Okay. Remove this curse, creature, he says, expecting a response from either what's in front of him or something greater in the area.
And this is exactly what you hear for the first few moments. Just silence as the fire burns on this thing's corpse.
Once again, you prove yourself a coward, hiding in the shadows. I will find you. I know this is not the end. Show yourself.
Well, you see, you hear like echoing through each of y'all's heads. I'm not quite ready to receive you all just yet. So, if you wouldn't mind, dealing with what you see in front of you. Of Adrian, please make a wisdom saving throw.
Mother of
Why are you not near me? Why are you not near me?
before.
The most intense pain you've ever felt in your life emanates from your chest.
Is he no longer protected from evil? Have to ask.
Nigga, it's too late for that. It's too late.
Why?
It was like it's funny you see that the protection from evil crumbles away from him. As this happens, this divine light is snuffed out around him, and this black curse, this mark, as it begins to extend onto his neck, onto his arm, onto Adrian's body. And as I was saying, the worst pain you've ever felt, Malvadrian, even getting stabbed doesn't compare to this. As the matron's voice whispers in your head, kill them.
And the words echo in Illigus' head, in Illigus' mind. Malvadrian, are you okay?
Malvadrian staggers up. So like I assumed like from like the intense pain, he just kind of collapsed in agony, and then he just kind of stops, and then like wordlessly he gets up and he turns to Illigith.
I was like to say,
And
I didn't
waves,
repeat
and
myself.
waves.
I was just trying to say that, like, I had said that before, hoping that nothing had gone wrong, and now the words echo again in my mind. I hadn't had the chance
Oh, no,
to ask
I
you
know.
yet. Okay, good. Sorry.
That's basically I'm just staring menacingly at you wordlessly. Direction. Boy.
Malvadrian, please roll some attacks.
And I lift what is left of my crossbow, which I haven't reloaded, so I will instead charge. I will pull out my officer's short sword and walk with each step gaining speed, and with each step losing more and more control as he goes full tilt charging at Ilgeth, since Noki's not there. And then, okay, of course, the freaking die rolls a 20, like not natural 20, but
So as he goes to do this, I'm not stopping him or anything. I'm just saying, like, Illigith would have, on hearing the whispers from the matron, or whatever you want to call her, would have dropped the lifeless body and turned to his comrades, and then seeing this kind of like almost Malvadrian, like crying, cringing in pain, with this black something coursing through his veins, and then brandishing a weapon and slowly but surely gathering speed, running at Illigith, him. And Illigith, this would be the antithesis of everything that he works for, to harm his ally, kind of puts his hands up in this Malvadrian. And that's about what I get as you roll your.
So I rolled a 19 and a 26, so
That's
F your life.
There.
Oh. Okay. Okay, luckily I rolled a 2 for the first attack, so that's 2 plus 4, so that's only 6. Alright. Alright, so that's 2 attacks, and that's 14 points of damage. As I'm kind of assuming, like, you're kind of like, like, or, whatever gesturing you're doing, I just kind of slash you, just body shots across the chest, just kind of like savage, not very precise, just these kind of like almost frenzied, beast-like, just slashing and hacking.
Okay.
I love you, bro.
These blows land on Illios. Is this a slashing or a stabbing motion? Slashing. All right.
I think of it more like a twirling. Okay, too soon? Okay.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
And as you do so, these shadows begin to just begin to wreath you just the tiniest bit, Malvadrian, this thin coat of shadow. And you see Illios and Yoki that one of his eyes is fully black.
Oh no. Oh no. No, I don't want to go there. Oh no. Okay. What happens next?
I believe it is Yoki's turn.
Noki, laying on the ground, wasn't aware of what was happening until he heard the sounds of combat continue. Thinking it was over, he looked up to see. What are you
I'm
doing?
going to add to kind of clarify. Illios saying, I will not fight you, Malvadrian.
Is this during like Yoki's turn, or are we like we
Yeah,
have
kind of like
talk,
in the mix of what had happened after you're like slashing me.
Do you respond?
Sure, yeah. Okay. Oh man. Okay, one second. Say your thing again.
I will not fight you, Malvadrian.
Good.
Ooh. Menacing.
Astro, come here.
Your
My bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Your relationships make you the weakest of us.
Say it with confidence.
Yes. Say it with your chest. That's all I got for right now. I'm sorry. It was kind of anticlimactic, but it's okay.
So, and looking up as he hears these sounds and the words between the two, he remembers his muskets have no, I mean, his pistols have no ammo. His shotgun laying on the floor somewhere. He doesn't know where. But he has his musket on his back still. And he's going to fire a shot into Malvadrian's leg, doing non-lethal damage. I crit. Nat 20.
What?
Nigga. What?
Rip leg. Gnome's gonna be making you a fake one.
That's gonna be dope.
We can do that.
I'll be the bionic man.
do for damage on my musket for a crit?
What?
I rolled a crit on Malvatrian.
Oh, are you just asking how I do crits?
Well, it's 2d10 for damage. Do I just do 10 damage on top, or?
I get. Yeah, so die 10, right?
Yeah, 2d10.
Yeah, so it'd be 10. It'd be 10 plus modifier and roll a d10.
Roll 2d10s.
I'm trying to. Wouldn't a crit, if the weapon is a 2d10, be 20 plus mod plus 2d10?
Oh, sorry, it's a 2d10 usual?
Yeah.
Oh,
Rip
okay, then
leg.
yeah, the 20.
Rip leg. Oh my god. Oh. I will not fight you, Malvadrian!
It's like just through one leg and then through the other.
It looked like I have to after all.
And then his head spontaneously busts into flame.
I rolled max damage on one die. I'm sorry, Mel.
Oh my gosh.
What was the total?
36.
I'm having trouble like seeing this as non-lethal. How do you use a firearm as non-lethal?
I don't aim at the arteries. The vital organ. What are you doing down there?
Well, that was fun. Yeah. So like, I'm down
So you take 36.
-5. Roll to live. I succeeded my death saving throw.
He didn't take a saving throw if it's non-lethal, right?
He just goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just goes down.
You're not actually negative. Anything past 0 would
And
have.
I'd like to retcon my conversation with you as just bestial grunts and rage, and no actual conversation was had.
All right.
Yeah, that's a retconned that.
Let me retcon my roll too.
Can I please have a bionic leg?
Oh my.
So,
No,
yeah.
Troy. Troy immediately pops in my head.
Oh, look, I
So-
didn't have to carry him the rest of the series.
For real.
So yeah, Malvadrian goes down. How does Illios react to this?
So I mean, I would imagine this thunderous boom from the rifle as Gnocchi's. I see him as like either standing or on a knee taking aim, still in that shock from falling and the spell, and then like silence in this slow motion as Malvadrian kind of falls, and Illios still, even though he's got these cuts and marks from these wounds from Malvadrian, still with his hands out in front of him, goes to kind of catch Mal. And in this really in this absolutely devastated look.
And as he goes down, he is unconscious for sure. But the spreading of this curse mark does not cease. And it continues to spread across. Sorry to go. It spreads across his body. And he yells out in pain. He is unconscious, and he is just groveling isn't the right word, but he is shaking,
Writhing.
Yeah, it's just writhing in pain, just constantly just screeching out. And
But manly.
it almost sounds as he's screeching out that there's another voice in there, lie below, of a slightly deeper tone as he is screaming out in this pain.
I'm gonna wait a little bit longer.
Yep, still screaming.
Yep, still screaming.
It's not going away, man. What? Nope, he's still going.
So, Illios has done this before, and he feels that he is ready to do it again. As he lays the writhing Mal onto the leaves and the ground. Gnocchi, come near, quickly!
You think Noki plants his musket into the ground, using it as kind of like a cane or a crutch to help him stand up as he makes his way to you.
One more thing, I just had kind of an epiphany. This amulet is what Jauntwin gave us, correct?
Yes.
Was Mal wearing the amulet, or did he just have it?
I think I was just using it as a almost like a compass type of deal. I thought.
Okay. If I can see it, does it look any different? Does it look the same? Just a long shot.
Yeah. So this amulet at this moment would probably be shaking and cracking underneath the immense pressure of the magic that is now flowing throughout it.
Okay. All right, just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna take the amulet and rip it if it was on him. Like break the chain that was holding it on or whatever. Get it off of him, and I'm gonna throw it aside, kind of at a distance, not nearby, and and as I see his state continue to be as it is, Gnocchi, keep us safe. And he looks at Mal, placing his hands onto Mal's head and using his thumbs to close Malvadrian's eyelids as he attempts to meditate and search Malvadrian's soul for the source of this corruption.
And you do so, and you find yourself there on a battlefield. Surrounding you are the corpses of many, many soldiers dispersed among them also these soldiers in celestial garb and armaments. And you hear the sounds of war. And you see in this battlefield, it's raining profusely. It's pouring down. And you survey the battlefield the screams of soldiers as they go down, the sounds of explosions and fire spells going off, the explosions of guns being fired. And you see, in the midst of all of this, Malvadrian on the ground, his hands on his head, shaking and screaming out to anyone who could hear. Malvadrian, you know where you are right now. What are you screaming out?
Screaming out Dalton's name, probably just after his betrayal of both me and what was left of our country. It's like like not like you get it.
Yeah, I got you.
Got you.
Like a man scream.
It's like Dalton, but like way louder and like not falsettoed. Yeah. Just so you know, you're at the famous Battle of the Valley of Serenity, one of the well-known battles of the defining battles of the Imperium War, conquest of the Hills of Maribor.
And on your left, the 97th Division of the Celestial Empire. And that will conclude
Well,
our tour of...
That will conclude your tour. Illios, please exit how you came in. And yeah, it'll be good to go.
If only the Joker was the main enemy. Okay, well, I'm going to approach Mal quickly, as I've spotted him, ignoring all other figures around me. And nothing changes? Just to clarify.
You do so.
Okay.
You make it to Mal. What do you do?
Well, as I make my way to him, I'm going to call out to him, Malvadrian! As I kind of hear my voice in this almost like ethereal kind of like echo, kind of like a spirit realm echo to it.
You scream out, and you hear, it's like, you really think someone as small as yourself could save him from this pain?
And upon hearing this, I imagine it's coming from around me, correct?
Yes.
Illios stops. Do you think me so arrogant as to believe that the power comes from within me? You would be wrong. My power comes from the mighty Mother, the likes of which you cannot defeat. Malvadrian, you are safe, and I have come to take you home.
Ilmater this, Ilmater that. It's always that with you, isn't it? Oh, this divine God that empowers you, imbues you with this with the power to help others, this divine strength of will. I don't know him as Ilmater. I know him as Kel. And I can assure you that he is weaker than you think. Boy.
I'm going to kneel in front of Malvadrian, attempting to calm him, show him that it's me.
Please make a charisma check. Or a persuasion, if either's are.
Yeah, using what I said previously.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. Okay. This is another 5, and I'm going to, just like earlier, use an inspiration on a 5 and hope it's not a 4. Sometimes the dice don't go in your favor. That'll be a 10.
What was that?
And,
I just wanted.
what?
I also rolled just to see
And what did you get?
a 12
12.
plus like 3, so 15.
All right.
Was it
I
was
defy
it,
you!
you said it was a persuasion or a charisma check?
Either or, whichever's higher.
Because I can add 3 to that, making it a 13.
Yeah, go for it.
That's my proficiency for persuasion.
Yeah.
It still does not work.
And
Nay.
so Malvadrian, amidst the screams of your men as they die on the battlefield, the men that you couldn't save, no matter how hard you tried, and you think to yourself, how could you have saved them? But that doesn't make it hurt any less. And you think you hear a voice amidst these screams. But it fades away amidst the torrent and the storm of these other voices that pervade your consciousness. And Illios, you feel a smile. You feel a smile. You feel eyes on your back. And if you look behind you, you would see the Matron standing there amidst the corpses in the battlefield, staring at you, this beautiful pale woman wreathed in shadow with an icy cold smile. Said, "He is mine now, and you're not getting him back." And you are forcibly ejected from Malvadrian's consciousness.
I would imagine in a manner that would blow me backwards in the physical realm.
Yeah.
This cannot be. Gnocchi. Gnocchi.
Noki, not quite ready for you to come back yet. As it took much longer last time. It's startled.
Yeah, that was pretty. I imagine that would have been pretty fast, like an in and out kind of deal.
And he just remembers last time it took a good couple minutes. compared to this time where it took maybe a quarter, if not less, of that time. Did it work?
I do not know what to do.
It is then that Illios and Yoki hear the sound of the trees rustling. And the darkness begins to return. And
Gnocchi,
as
is there something coming? We cannot be caught like this.
18 perception.
yes, do you see very clearly the trees and the vines on the ground begin to swarm towards you all, and the matron's voice once again emanates through your heads. It's like, stay here for now. I'll make use of you all later.
Ever the combatant, Illios, yells, "You may have taken his soul, but you cannot have his body." And he kind of tries to scoop Malvadrian up. Gnocchi, we must go! And run back from where they came with obvious obstacles.
Should we go back or should we go forward?
I cannot leave him here.
We bring him back, then what happens when he wakes up?
You ask questions I have no answers to.
It should be noted that these vines are coming at you fast.
I think we should continue forward. If we kill the one who cursed him, then the curse will be broken. Just as Roveg.
Roll a persuasion or some kind of something. Of course.
Let's see. 23 persuasion.
Oh God! Woo! Woo! All right. Fine. We will press on. But I am not leaving him behind.
I'm not asking you to leave him behind. Once we break this curse, his curse will be broken too.
We must move.
I look for the amulet that Illios threw away off of Mal and lead the way according to where it points us.
Or was there like an obvious direction, like the ghosts and whatnot from earlier, or is it just like woods?
It was the. I mean, it was woods, but the ghosts were heading in the direction that y'all were.
Okay,
Like,
I just wasn't sure if there was like a massive pit or something that was like a landmark.
Yeah, and it should also be noted that Gnocchi, as you hold this thing up, it's almost like the magic of the curse mark surging through it was too much for it to handle. and it's cracked and it's not really moving or like indicating like anything, like any kind of direction. And the vines are coming at you. It almost feels like the forest is closing in on you.
After I just take a quick look at it to see what direction it's not showing anything at all. I pocket it real quick and I pull out the shotgun and I fire in front of us again, trying to clear a path through the vines for us to make it through.
All right.
Always quick on your feet.
There's no need to make any roll. Your shotgun clears a path through the vines that are encroaching on y'all. At least in one section, which will provide y'all advantage on this dexterity check that y'all are gonna have to make over here.
Now?
Yes, these things come at you, grabbing at you.
That's a 20, unnatural.
Plus my stuff, but I failed.
22.
I'm also carrying Malvadrian.
Yeah.
He should be fine if he's not heavy.
Well,
did you roll with advantage?
Oh no, sorry. I was just making a statement. You know, it's like it's not just me with free hands.
Yeah.
I mean, I do probably have him over one shoulder, but so with advantage. Oh, and I get to add my shield bonus.
Don't forget your charisma bonus.
16.
You're good.
Oh, first dex save ever. Hooray
Alright,
for
so
Shield Master.
Inoki jumps through these vines that are snapping at him, and you're able to push them away. Illios barely avoiding them because of the path that Inoki had cleared. And it is at this point that you're running. That you all are booking it forward. And as I said, the forest begins almost to close in around you all. And it seems like the trees are bending, the terrain is changing in almost weird mismatched ways that don't make sense. And it's almost like these trees are coming down to grab you along with these vines. These branches swing down at you all. You know, I would like, as these branches swing down, you can either make a dex or a strength.
He will return shortly.
All right. As will I.
Looks like it's just you and me.
Ooh. Hello. So I'm basically dead. How are you?
All of my powers are useless.
Alright, I'm back.
That was quick.
Yeah. We lost Molly. We told him you were going to be gone for a second.
That was Blake calling.
Bro, one man down.
Yeah. Woo. I don't know. I honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen. I didn't really expect much going into, try and pull you out. I wouldn't expect him to get you out, but I don't know. I don't know what else to do. And I know he's reaching for the deny your god. Never.
But really? Never. But maybe? No! Have you seen our holy weapons? Fucking legit.
I can't even.
Oh, man.
Alright, I got 30 minutes till Blake's here, so.
Blake?
Yeah.
Oh, roommate. Wait. Who?
Young Love.
Roommate. What?
Blake Love?
Yeah.
Why?
So, Blake has my cousin's dog because they're roommates at Texas Tech.
Ugh.
And my cousin is in Florida with his family in Disney World or whatever. And Blake is here to see his girlfriend who lives on campus. who can't have a dog, and so I'm having to take the dog for the
Oh
night
my gosh.
and then take him home tomorrow with me.
Oh.
I didn't really.
Yeah, I'll be heading home tomorrow too.
Hey, are we doing Friendsgiving?
It would have to be on the weekend.
Yeah,
But-
that was my. I was thinking that it would be. I think
Yeah,
Brian
I
wants
mean-
to come too.
Sure, that'd be cool. I'd be down. Where would you guys want to have it? I would offer our house, but it's all the way in Humble, so I didn't think everyone wanted to drive all that way up there.
I mean, I thought you had said that your aunt wanted to.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Like, I'd offer the house if you guys want to drive to Humble. You know,
Why don't
it's
we?
about a 30-minute drive,
Why don't
so
we
it's not a
ask?
huge deal. But if you guys want to, you're welcome to.
I mean, that was kind of my plan. I was just like, well, we'll just make the drive. But if you want to ask, that's up to you. Or do you want to just tell people like, hey, come out here? That's whatever. you decide.
They're welcome to come out here. I didn't know if you guys wanted to drive, but yeah, my aunt and I would be totally fine with that. I'm pretty sure anyway.
Looking forward.
Let me
to
double
it.
check with her before I commit to
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, that'd be cool. No, my everything but Sunday is not cool. I have a final on Monday, but
Right, guys, I'm back.
La di da.
Is Ryan back yet?
Yeah.
Yep.
He is. Alright, so give me either those dex or strength saving throws as these branches come down to literally try and grab you.
We already did that.
Oh, did you?
well, no, isn't it again?
Yeah, it's again.
It's a dex or strength.
13, 15.
15 plus 4, 19 plus 2, 21.
Alright, so I'm assuming that you're using dexterity, Nyoki.
Yeah.
So you definitely duck out of the way of these branches and Illios. You just knock them aside
Yeah, snapping a couple on the way.
as they come at you. And as you move forward, in front of you, a wall of trees coalesces, leaving a very small opening on the left.
I take it.
Are there girls there?
If you think. I mean, there's a hag. If you're into
Close
that.
enough.
Right, give me that dex check. Dexterity saving throws.
Oh. To jump through the hole.
Yeah.
You want another one, Molly?
Yeah.
18.
2.
10.
10. All right.
Can I
And
shoot these lines with my second shot, or?
Huh?
I mean, I shot the vines the first time. Can I shoot them again?
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
shotgun?
Yeah, sure. If you want. Why not?
So I'm going to do that this time around.
Yep. All right. So yeah, you hit these. Illios, go ahead and roll again.
I should give Illios advantage.
And that's just what I needed. That's a 20. Not a nat 20. 16 plus 4.
Yep. So basically, this scene that I picture, this forest is literally trying everything it can, and like I say, the scene in front of you doesn't make sense. Like the terrain is changing in ways you couldn't even imagine. The trees are just switching places, lining up, trying to get you, trying to grab you as if their branches were arms, and the vines are also trying to drag you down. But you two will not relent and refuse to be caught by this thing.
Dang straight! I got you, Mal.
And as you're doing that, we go back into Malvadrian's consciousness. And Mal, you're there, still again, lying, knees down. The bodies of your men surrounding you, and their blood covered in blood, rain pouring. Still, these things bombarding you, left and right. These different memories of your comrades in life, and in particular those of Dalton, your best friend, almost like a brother, like he was a brother to you, and yet he did this horrible thing. And it almost as if you see him again in front of you, smirking once again, and you feel a hand on your back, and it's the matron's hand. It's like, I don't understand why you fight, my child. And her voice echoes. Just give in to the shadows. Let your anger take you, and then nothing will ever hurt you again.
Adrian kind of like pauses and just kind of, kind of like almost entranced. I kind of like imagine that it's like, in the midst of all this conflict and like chaos or whatever, this is like the one moment of like calm and peace. They're just kind of juxtaposed what he was in to where he is now.
Indeed.
And he kind of like just kind of says out loud, not really to her, but kind of like, I kind of see him almost like in a fugue state where it's kind of like he's being hypnotized, where it's like he's not really aware of like her, that like it's almost like anyway. And he kind of says out loud, but if I give up, I'll never be able to claim vengeance for those who've wronged me. I can't give up. I won't.
What part of giving into your anger is giving up, my child? Give in. Let it overtake you. And all of your grudges, the sins that others have borne you, the world that has wronged you.
And he kind of like listens to that, and he kind of like reactionary, but a wildfire burns all. Not just those who have wronged me, but my friends. And he thinks back to, I kind of think like the thought kind of goes out to them, and then almost immediately it just kind of gets like shut off. That's kind of how I imagine.
Friends? You mean Kel's boy and the gnome? They're not your friends. I am your friend, Malvadrian. I am the one that will lead you to your retribution. You see him, and she points up, and you see standing across from you, Dalton, his back turned to you, but his face looking back at you, his head turned smirking as he continues walking away from you. This is your chance, my child. Are you going to waste it?
So this is kind of how I pictured it in my head. So tell me what you're thinking. But I kind of see it as like, while he's kind of like walking away, like kind of like in her hand materializes my like my crossbow, and it's almost like she's offering me like the weapon itself. Like if I just accept it, or let him walk away. And is that kind of like a similar vibe that you're thinking?
Yes.
Okay. And so I kind of see him walk like 2, 3 steps, and then maybe like so Malvadrian's hands like twitching with rage, anger, hurt, pain, and he kind of like is kind of halfway between taking it and not taking it. And he's like, I should, but I can't. I want to, but I can't. And it's just kind of like this inner turmoil kind of like going on inside of him. And it's almost like, he's stuck in like a loop. And each step. Were you going to say something?
Oh, and is exactly like in her tone that was calming before. It's like, just take it. Take it, Malvadrian.
And I think finally after that, like kind of like, like the angry like explosion of emotion or whatever, he just kind of like gives into that moment of weakness and takes it and shoots. Oh no. And then, what have I done?
And as the bolt flies towards Dalton, images of Illios and Yoki flood your mind. You see Illios smiling, acting jovial as he always does.
All for you.
It's all for you.
And you see Yoki and his antics.
His antics.
And the way he was always one of the few people in your life that could make you laugh.
Yeah, that's true.
And as that pang of regret, that oh no, that you described as the bolt flies towards Dalton, materializing in a silver blue flash of light, this beautiful woman, draped in white silver robes, appears and strikes the bolt down on its way. It's like, no, Malvadrian, no, Mal. You're better than this. Fight her. Fight her. This is Minty, of course. And
you can go.
Yeah.
I was like gonna say something, but you were gonna say something. I want to hear what you're gonna say first.
No, go.
No. What are you gonna say?
No, you go.
God damn it! All right. All right. So at this point, I feel like Malvadrian's just kind of gone full frame shift, and that kind of oh no was kind of too late. Like it was kind of like he's already pulled the trigger and kind of given the reins over to whatever black magic is going on there. So, like, is there any influence there, like, or anything like that, or is it still like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can. So you can feel Minty's energy like flowing. Like a flowing through you, like it's trying to combat the matron's influence over you.
And at that point, I think I would say, like, after this kind of like struggle, he would kind of turn to Minty and he would say, "Your power, it's not enough. Your power has failed me for the last time. I go now to," and he kind of looks at the taller woman, to something more effective. I don't need you anymore, Minty. Be gone.
The look over her face is complete shock. And she says, "No, you can't mean that. We made, it wasn't a deal. We made a promise to each other. A promise
Promises
that
don't
would be
bring down
kept."
empires. Power brings down empires. Force push, blast, lightning bolt, fireball, matron, blight blast, anger, lance, emotion. Deal with it.
And this strikes Minty. And she recoils at the blow. And she looks up at you. Tears in her eyes. And she says, "I thought you were a better man than this."
A better man can't take down the Imperium. Only a monster can.
She looks at you. These white hot tears in her eyes. And turns her back on you. And fades. We go back to what's happening outside. Illios, you're carrying Mal throughout this Inyoki, dodging these vines and these trees that are trying to grab at you. And you see a momentary flash of blue-white light that fades almost the instant it arrived. And these shadows begin to wreath Malvadrian. Almost so much that it burns your skin. And you're running, and running. along with Noki constantly dodging these trees, beating them back. These vines that try to overtake you. But eventually, they catch you. And as you're caught, Malvadrian in your mind once again, the matron smiling. She looks down at you. Corner of your eye. The sights of a tall for a woman, tan, with long black hair back in a ponytail, looking at you with disgust and sadness in her eyes.
You said the matron was looking at me with disgust and sadness?
No, this was another woman.
Oh, okay. I was like, really, bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I don't laugh at that then.
Yeah, standing across from you. You recognize her, of course. It's Zoe.
Oh, here we go.
What just happened?
You really gonna give it up? You really gonna give in? Huh? Right now? You're gonna turn your back on everything?
If that's what it takes.
She walks up to you and slaps you. If you're going to do this to save me, I'd rather be dead. Goodbye, Mal.
As she
Yeah.
kind of like fades off into nothing, he kind of says under his breath, I'm not doing this for you. Fade out.
And with those words kind of resonating, that selfish character ringing, I know it's in your mind, but you see Illigith, who is now caught and trapped by this woodland nature, whatever. He quickly sets Mal down on the ground in front of him, on his knees, shielding Mal with his entire body, and cries out to Ilmater, "Give me the strength, for I have none. Save him, and take me, Ilmater," as he centers himself, meditating on Malvadrian and Gnocchi. The only two things, the only two people that he truly loves. And visions of white doves and field mice, daisies. He centers himself on this mental plane within him as the world falls and crumbles around him.
Roll me a D100.
It is a 68.
The vines overcome and surround you, Illios. You have used your body to block the vines from encroaching upon Malvadrian. And the shield that you wield on your back begins to crack and crack and crack and crack. And this light emerges from the cracks. As the stone breaks away and reveals a shield of glimmering golden red metal, a lion's maw emblazoned. It is the lion heart. And you can feel the vines being torn away as hands grab at you, pulling you out of this encasement. You too as well, Nyoki. And the hands, you turn up to look, and you see the face of a man that you think is a man. His face almost looks as if it is covered in bark, with green lines etched into his flesh, glowing with this green energy, garbed in this tattered brown cloak. And you can hear voices emanating. Take them! Get them out of here! Go! And you look up at this man. Said, "We barely found you. We had no idea. Quickly, come." And it almost seems as if these people around you are fighting back the terrain with their own magic. Trees and vines come up to combat those that are trying to harm and encase you. Come with me, quickly, now, if you want any hope of living and beating that thing and saving your friend. Nyoki, you would recognize as the wood ganassi, as the wooden ganassi of this forest. And they are leading you away, actively fighting against the forest. And the scene changes to a dark forested grotto of a stone obelisk protruding from the water. And around this tall, pale woman, the matron, as she rubs her hand across the moss of the obelisk. The scene changes again as well. We are back in the gnome workshop, staring at Jauntwin's back as he toils through books and notes, peering over the crystals and the plans and the etchings that you all have left, as the giant Anacalcum crystal hums overhead, and he hears another voice. You made any progress? Jauntwin turns and looks. No, Hequist, I haven't. But I think I just might. It seems as if the power in these crystals come from somewhere else entirely. It is not of this plane. And of course, they're using... And Jauntwin lurches forward, seemingly out of nowhere. And he turns to look, his hand moving down towards the blood, towards the wound in his stomach, oozing blood. And he looks up to see Hequist with these black eyes, says, "Oh, I already know." As Hequist gazes up at the large crystal, and we move back to the matron moving her hand across the grime on the obelisk. beneath which grime you see the burning symbol of two dragons interlocking with each other. And from behind her, the clinking of chains. And she turns to see three figures. These three demonic, ghastly looking things covered in chains. Almost as if and she looks at them and back at the obelisk. Now I have the key. And everything that is mine shall be mine once again. And that's the end. Oh, man.
You made it.
Yeah, I did. Oh, man.